Alrighty, welcome in everyone to the PHNX Rising post-game show. Appreciate everyone joining us here tonight. Phoenix Rising fall 0-0 at home to
the draw.
You know what I mean?
They fell. It sound like they lost.
It feels like it lost. It feels like it lost.
I don't know.
Phoenix Rising draw.
But we were both
Charleston
predicting
Battery
losses today, and they drew.
They did. We both had what, 2-1, maybe even escalating to 3-1.
You were saying 3-1 before the game. He thought that they yeah,
it did kind of swing in that direction for a little bit, but yeah, Phoenix Rising 0-0 at home. First half pretty darn slow. There really was not much in it for either team, and then getting into the second half picks up a little bit more. It tends to become a bit more, I'm not going to say end-to-end, but at least certainly a bit more open. Both teams going for 3 points. They end up settling for 1. Rising have a couple chances, off-set pieces, both directly as well as kind of the breakdown from them. Definitely a possible shout that Charleston Battery did not get. But again, this finishes 0-0. It's a draw. And Owen, I mean, we kind of watched this game, and when you kind of look at it after the fact, this was probably always going to be the result, a draw, knowing how this game played out. But what do we kind of take away from this?
It's not the worst point in the world. Again, we both thought that there was a real chance that this game was going to end as a loss. You're playing a Charleston team that's good. Admittedly, that's also a Charleston team that has struggled as of recent. They have struggled in terms of finding ways to get the ball in the back of the net, and they did so again tonight. Rising showed the same kind of struggle overall. One real clear-cut chance the entire game falls to Alejandro Fuenmayor, who is unable to convert. And to be honest, it was one of those ones where you're up over 0.8 XG. You got to convert that.
Yeah.
But a load of other chances that there weren't many players who were taking multiple shots. At least not when I was looking around maybe around the hour mark. A lot of people who were, one shot they'd had all game. Panos being an exception, but he was taking a fair few. More difficult opportunities from further away, which is understandable, right? There's not a whole lot going on necessarily. It feels like there's not a whole lot of chances presenting themselves. So you take it upon yourself to take a couple of pops from distance. And he did so, and they were dangerous enough that he didn't make a fool of himself at all doing so. And so you don't argue with that. Some players are going to take pops like that. But look, again, overall, points are points. You take it. I know Max is currently trying to scroll through the chat on my thing at the minute. Be careful, Max. Don't accidentally log us out or something, which can happen by mistake. But Max wouldn't ruin the broadcast.
No,
but it's one of those games where it feels a bit flat. It was a dogged game. You come out with a point. Maybe it's not the worst result that you could have had.
Yeah. I mean, like you mentioned, there's definitely some players who kind of try to make things happen. Right? Again, mentioned Panos, some of those long shots, Alejandro Fuenmayor with a chance there. I mean, there were, if we kind of mentioned, right, that if this match was going to get something, it was going to be from maybe not a scrappy goal, but something that, hey, it's maybe either against the run of play, it's off a set piece. It's something where Rising has shown they're not really having the ability to break down a team. So it's going to have to come either off a counterattack or with a quick burst. And we saw some pieces there. It's just, again, it's few and far between. There's these 5-minute bursts of, hey, sustained attack, kind of fizzles, and maybe it's going to pop again. Maybe it doesn't. We saw that again today.
Should we have a look at the numbers?
Let's do it.
Have a look at that numbers.
Presented by our friends at Desert Financial Credit Union, Arizona's #1 credit union, named by Forbes. Phoenix Rising 0, Charleston Battery 0. XG for Phoenix Rising, they won that battle 1.65.
Although, again, most of the vast majority of that coming out of Alejandro Fuenmayor's one chance.
That is correct. You mentioned it was a 0.8 there, and Charleston Battery have 0.73 XG overall. Congratulations. Rising won the possession battle yet again, 53-47. They won the shots battle as well.
Max is hanging up we won the possession battle.
We won the possession. Put it in there.
He's going to put it up there.
Hanging in the rafters. 12 shots for Phoenix Rising, 8 to Charleston Battery. But here's the real kicker. Out of Charleston Battery's 8 shots, half of them were on target. That's 4. 4 out of 8 were on target. Owen, how many shots on target of Rising's 12? How many were on target there?
Eden. That's Welsh for 1.
Thank you.
Educational.
It was. That's really nice. I appreciate that. Yeah, I like that.
Die, tree, Edward, M.
I'm learning a lot.
You see how we've gotten to the point here now where the game was so thrilling that we're talking about Welsh numbers.
I like how you say we've gotten to the point, and I think we're not even 5 minutes in.
5 minutes into this show. yeah. Rob Page is gone, by the way.
Yeah, there you go. Something to celebrate
Welsh
for
football
you.
news.
There you go.
No, back to the Rising performance today. You know what? I'm gonna kind of bring it out here, and I think this is probably a second segment discussion, but I'm gonna do it now. Anyway,
I don't care.
Because I feel like we're at that point where we're just gonna toss things out there. One of the things that really stood out to me today, and it's something that I've noticed a lot through the season in general, is that the open play crossing is not hitting targets. Tonight, just from a quick glimpse at Opta, and look, these stats are subject to change. If you look at it later and it's a bit off, or if you look at it in a minute and maybe it's changed since the last time we looked, it happens. From what I understood, it was 11 open play cross attempts and none was successful. At best, they maybe had 1 successful cross attempt in there from open play. Now it's a serious question mark for me because they keep trying on these open play crosses and don't seem to create a whole lot of anything from it. Now the question for me then becomes why. And this came up in the post game, right? And Danny's like, we've got to keep working on them. We'll keep working on them in training. We're going to keep working on finding ways to create opportunities via that and see what we can do. But at the same time, I wonder if there are also other elements in there. Is it the nature of where this team is with the number 9 position at the moment, right? Remy Cabral just coming back from injury, did not start today's game. That was precautionary, of course, as it was last week, right? They don't want to rush him too quickly, and it's understandable. They don't want to rush him too quickly because he's a player you rely on a lot this season. But at the same time, then you have Darius Formella, who is not a true number 9, playing in the up there. He often drops a little bit deeper sometimes during play. Does that impact why crosses maybe don't have success? Is the team set up in such a way that from open play crosses are going to be successful? I'd argue there are times where that's just not the case. No free ads in the chat, please, Reese. We're not advertising cargo airlines in there, please.
I've never been more proud.
I'm gonna have to chat at the lackey now for that one. But and producer Shane for putting up it as well. Shameful. But as we look at just the way this team sets up in general, I don't know if they're always best placed to win those kind of battles, right? And the numbers don't look good. They haven't looked good for certain players all season long. And it goes back to, I think, a question that we've had quite a few times. Is this team properly equipped in the attack? And by that, I mean at the number 9 kind of role. Are they correctly equipped when you're in a position where one of them goes down injured, one of them goes down because of, one of them's out for a few weeks because of paternity leave. And knowing that one of those 2 players that you have that can play in those positions doesn't view himself as a centre forward.
Yeah.
He thinks of himself as a left winger. And that's the question for the club at that point, right? Is what is the progress happening towards the centre forward kind of setup? You have to remember that you lost a major aerial threat in Carlos Harvey.
Yep.
You lost goal scorers in Danny Trejo and Manuel Arteaga. Arteaga just, he's doing Manuel Arteaga things right now in Tampa Bay. He's having a great season so far.
10 or 11 goal scorer.
Finding the back of the net. Man's on double-digit goals already. And these are questions for probably for the recruitment team at large. Did they think that they were sufficiently replacing Danny Trejo, Manuel Arteaga, and the aerial threat that Carlos Harvey could provide when realistically at the centre forward role they brought in Remy Cabral alone? That's the question. I feel as though, look, there have been intimations at times as though this team may be thinking about bringing someone else in. Maybe not. Not getting too many straight answers on that one. And not obviously a lot of public talk about that one, of course, as well. But you kind of have to look at it and think they need to, because the current situation, I think, in some of the ways in the attack isn't sustainable. You get a few opportunities off set pieces today, but I think by and large, the issue is this team just doesn't have any. It's not necessarily through lack of creativity. It's not necessarily through lack of being able to work the ball into the more dangerous area where you could then whip something in or look to play the important ball through. It's the fact that sometimes as well, they don't have the right ideas or they don't have the ability to execute in that final third just with the personnel that are out there or the way that they are playing on any given day and all of those things. It's concerning, right? And again, I know there's a lot of things going on in the chat. I haven't been able to look down at you guys in the chat for a little bit here. And I'll also go with John's comment there. You should remember, this is also Battery has not won a game in their last 5 league games. Yeah, it's a very, very valid point, right? And they aren't scoring goals either. But from Rising's perspective, I just, if you asked me to look at this team and see a team that last year put quite a few goals on several teams, like 5, 6, it happened a few times.
Sure.
If you asked me to look at this team and say, are they going to do what the old Phoenix Rising did, which isn't sustainable, by the way. We can't always compare them to what this team did in 2019, where they just battered the league in general. I
think the margins were also a little bit wider.
The bar's a lot higher, I think, in this league compared to where it was then. No. But do you see them ever putting a 5 or 6 goal performance up? Because I don't.
They've scored 3 goals once this season.
I don't see it happening. And that's a concern, because there are some teams in this league that are poor. And even then, you kind of...
Stylacky, look up how many times they've hit 2 goals, even 2 goals or more, while we're looking on that. I mean, yeah, I think even going back to, like, right, we'll nip the crossing thing in the butt. This is something that this is not new to this match. It's something that we've continued to see. He says 5 times this season in 16 matches. Say it again.
3 goals twice.
Thank you for that correction.
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. Thank you.
What was the other one?
That's right, Tulsa.
Okay. Tulsa, yeah, in the 3-all draw, yeah.
More than 2 goals. 2 goals or more.
Penalties as well in Tulsa.
Yes, 2 goals or more 5 times out of 16 matches. It's your margins are small. That's what we keep on saying. Again, we have said so many times before the season started, throughout this entire season, this team has guys who can hold a lead. Like, you've seen it what they have through the back with Rocco, everything like that. Like, this team is built to where, in theory, you can see out matches. When you're not even getting into that position, it makes it really difficult to pick up points, pick up results.
It is. Go check out Plain Spotting Lackey Reese in the chat now. There's apparently a flight took off to Sacramento. I'm not naming airlines.
I know.
I know. Flight took off to Sacramento. Poor people. Poor people.
Poor people.
What's the song again, Max? Sing us the song, Max. Come on. You know what? You want to sing it.
Oh, what, you're talking about the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
Yeah, come on. You know, you can sing it.
Oh, leaving Sacramento, here I go. There's a bunch of other stuff where he's like, I'm not gonna say the rest of it. Actually, you gotta.
Some of that is not to be said.
Yeah, I'm now like remembering what the lyrics are. You can't say that. Look it up on that streaming platform where you're watching this. I'll say it, YouTube. Boom, there we go.
We're on this.
That's how you're watching there. That's fine. But if they are going to Sacramento, they can enjoy some Circle K. Check out Circle K. They were handing out these nice fans at Phoenix Rising today.
It's
the Pride fans. It was nice. It was very cool with the support and everything like that. And also, it was supporting us because, goodness gracious, it was hot out.
Very hot.
Very hot. Very hot. A little toasty, a little muggy. But yeah, shout out Circle K fans, everything like that. And hey, you can join their Inner Circle program. You can save 25 cents per gallon for your first 5 fill-ups. And wouldn't you know, you also have a nice Polar Pop promo. Get 79-cent Polar Pops. You're a Inner Circle member. Bump it down to 69 cents. Pretty nice deal. If you ask me, woof indeed. Again, download Circle K app. Opt in to their Inner Circle program with just a phone number. Save all kinds of free stuff. They threw me a 25 cents off per gallon randomly the other day just because they could, which was awesome. So
nice.
Check it out. Monday, across all PHNX Sports channels. Going to be having a little announcement with our friends at Circle K there. So be sure. Mondays. Be sure to tune in and check it out there. But again, love our friends at Circle K. Terms and conditions do apply at participating locations.
Reese, why are you still commenting about the flight? You can see the planes in the background, so he keeps commenting about where they're going.
Statlacky Reese and Flight Tracker Reese. There we go.
Flight Tracker Reese.
Well, he's looking at planes. They go high. You can too with our friends at OG's Brands. OG's Brands, they can take you high into distant places that you don't even know what were possible, right? Whether it's their indicas, their sativas, and everything in between. They got all the great stuff for you, right? The big OGs, the minis, all that great stuff. Owen could use one maybe after this show, per usual. But yes,
dealing with you, Max.
Oh yes, check out our friends at OG's
don't
Brands.
Validate him, Shane.
Yes,
don't validate
thank
him.
you. That was pretty smooth. Just like OG's Brands and their sweet texture of all the different flavors that they offer. That's the smoothest darn thing in the Valley.
Max, much like the first half, I need fewer transitional moments, please.
You can find them online at ogsbrands.com to find that local dispensary near you. And of course, check them out at OG's Brands across all socials. Must be 21 years or older to enjoy responsibly. I do want to make sure we get into the chat, right? Because you guys have been hitting it with a ton of comments on here, right? Mike M in the chat. Were the moves made, Arteaga, based on finances or the lack of available money?
I can't tell you for certain. So I won't. Is what I'd say. I don't have a clear answer I can give you that I would feel confident standing behind in this case. So I will not give an answer on that.
Okay. BJ makes an observation and a bit of a question. Panos doesn't play 1-2s with Rito enough. Can he go to his right at all? He never comes back in when he does. Rito and him could combine a lot. You know, I see that. I think the way that they balance their wingbacks are very different, right? Gabby, while he can't hug the sideline, he just plays a little bit in more. They really try to off balance on that right-hand side, where Gabby does not hug the touchline as much. Rito very much does. And you just kind of get into, I'm not going to say a spacing issue, but it's just been kind of seen. If Rito is going to hug the sideline, he's going to use his speed. It allows Panos that opportunity to move within that half space. I think just kind of based on that spacing, it may be a bit more difficult to play some of those 1-2s there. Whereas you see it a lot more on the left-hand side.
Yeah, absolutely. Can we give a shout out to, I want to give a shout out to the chat here, Alex in particular.
Yeah.
Who's saying that planes are pretty cool and that the England team will board one sooner than you think.
Yeah, and he was
Alex.
Nice. He was also saying a lot that it's not coming home. And I think Reese was saying, oh yeah,
the England team's coming
and
home.
Southgate is not good. And Alex then corrected him, no, it's never coming home.
Oh yeah,
never.
No, Reese, it's never coming home.
It's never coming home.
It's like they keep saying this. The only thing that ever comes home is England dejected. Would we rather have Southgate or Berhalter as the question?
I'll let the chat answer that too.
Chat, you make your mind up there.
Oh, gosh.
Which scale of dire are you feeling today?
Oh man.
Back to football, back to Rising. Some moments we want to talk about. Anything you want, Max? Anything you got to say?
Yeah. See, Brent in the chat brings it up. Second positive, actually played Julio. Negative, didn't come out until late in the second. I mean, I think that's fair. This is going to be a narrative for this team that we're going to keep seeing it, right? Whether it's
how many years Jose had now, by the way, yellows, because he had a yellow.
That was his 8th. We determined. Yes,
so
yes,
is he
nods.
suspended for the next game?
We determined. Yes,
probably.
Yes.
We'll know for certain when the league says what the league says, which is whenever they get around to doing it. But I feel as though that's a suspension.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of these things. This club is going to continue to rotate players, as every club does, but it's going to be doing at maybe a bit higher frequency, maybe at a bit higher quantity, and maybe a bit sporadic. I don't know.
Are we seeing Julio enough for your liking?
No.
There we go. I don't disagree.
Yeah, again,
I'd rather see Julio more.
Again,
I think he's a player with. I think the way I've described it when people have asked me before is that he is young and he is raw, and I understand that. You'll not always get the best performance out of him because he is young and he is raw. However, we have seen flashes of talent from him that I think put him above other options that are available on this team.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, you need to try and nurture that talent. You need to let it shine out on the pitch, give him his opportunities, and see what he can do. And when he has been given some opportunities earlier this season, he has had some good games.
Yes.
So I feel as though it's time that we see a little bit more of Julio D'Artiata.
He gives you just a different flavor. Again, we've said multiple times is often, right, Renzo Zambrano is going to be in the midfield regardless. We've seen that. That's just kind of a constant with this club, right? He's the outside of Rocco. He's the guy who started the most number of matches in all competitions this season. If he's always out there, you can play Jose Andres Hernandez with him. You're gonna have to know what kind of match you're gonna get, and it's not gonna be one that's very forward progressing through that midfield. You're going to look for that attack to, I mean, goodness, it's going to be funneled from the back or something a little bit different. I don't know. But like we've seen so often, Julio, he gives you something different. He's able to progress that ball forward. And again, kind of going back, and I'm not trying to always reminisce, but we talk about Carlos Harvey and how he is not in any way a replaceable player, or at least certainly not with anyone Rising has on the roster. And we both stand by that. But if you're looking for someone who can progress forward and at least have that forward mentality from the midfield, Julio is the closest one to it on what they have.
No, he is. I don't think any other major questions out of this one. Juan Mayor, how did he miss it?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I mean, off the post and then.
Well, no, the one off the post. All right, it happens. How do you miss the follow?
No, that's what I'm saying. You missed the post, and it's like, okay, he was there. I don't get it.
I don't get it,
man. There's a couple cleared off the line,
and then I feel like you got very, very lucky. He got very, very lucky with the penalty shout down at this end, right behind us here. And I was watching it from here. Initially thought, it's not that high. It wasn't that high. Max's foot is up here. Max's feet. Hey, Max, feet picks.
I'm tight. No, it's so tight.
What would happen if I just pulled the shit off?
Oh my gosh. Oh, my hammy, so tight. But it was about.
Producer Shane is about to just log off and go like, "We're done for the night.
It was about that high.
Mate.
That was actually really nice.
Good stretch.
I'm not gonna have to do the other one, although it would be nice. But no, it was pretty high. Oh
yeah.
There's people on the roof again. Oh boy. One of those.
It was landing a plane up there.
We don't land the plane. It's one of those post games. I think that was definitely definitely one.
He goes in very strong, nowhere near the ball in the end to me. I feel as though he takes the guy out in a pretty bad challenge, and if the referee had pointed to the spot in that moment, you could not have had any complaints if you were Phoenix Rising. I feel as though he probably should have pointed to the spot in that moment, but it happens. In
talking to some people, and you were kind of mentioning this, a lot of people thought that the refereeing was perhaps polarizing. Your thoughts?
I don't think he had a good game, but not necessarily for the kind of reasons that people throw out. People tend to throw out a certain number of instances, things like the first half, all the yellow cards that Rising got. That didn't do it for me. I thought they were all defensible yellow cards. I feel as though, again, overall, just not his best showing. Not his best showing in terms of just, trying to keep a lid on the game at times. That game is always sometimes going to get chippy. So, again, I'm not going to be like he lost control. I feel as though there were moments there, actually, that late in the half where there was the incident in the goal mouth. I was surprised that no one came away with a card in that incident.
Yeah. That was a
I'd also say there was a comment earlier about what happened at the very, very end when he blew for full time. He didn't give a penalty, by the way. He gave a goal kick. If he'd given a penalty, he can't blow the final whistle at that point.
Yep.
A penalty goes into what we call extended time. So if time expires while you are waiting for a penalty to be taken, the penalty must be completed before the game can end. You cannot end a game when a penalty is yet to be completed. Okay? By the way, just so there's a little bit of education for this show. Max is still concerned about what's going on upstairs.
The
aliens are coming, Max.
I don't want
the aliens are coming.
Where are they abducting first? You me? Oh God!
They're coming, Max.
In August, Colorado Springs can't come soon enough.
Max is just sitting here and going, I'm an ancient astronaut theorist myself.
Owen texted me.
He is, isn't he?
You texted me the ancient aliens. I was so happy.
from El Paso. Oh yeah, in the hotel room. Oh yeah.
Keeping it alive. And
this is where we're at with this one. It's just like this is the quality of the game, right? And I'll say this, right? Overall, if we had to have some takeaways, first half wasn't the most interesting, I think.
That's putting it lightly. First half
was a bit of a snooze fest. As Danny put it, they really controlled the transitional moments, both sides.
They did.
There weren't a lot of chances in there. It was a bit cagey, obviously. But but it wasn't necessarily bad from the perspective that if you came out to stifle the opponent, you did a decent job.
Yep.
Second half, it opens up a little bit more. There are some more chances in there. And it's again, it's fine, right? Again, I think we said before, we'd have probably taken this results before the kickoff.
Yes.
But doesn't mean it was an interesting game. Now back to Aliens.
Oh my gosh! No, I'll do the summaries. I mean, that pretty much stands up with the first half. It was just a kind of dull overall. I mean, the second half, I'm maybe slightly more positive than you in the sense of I think that the chances that were created on a different day, they could be converting those. Not the difference though here is I think the way in which they're getting a lot of these chances, and you've been seeing this in multiple matches now, of it's a bit off of set pieces, it's a bit off of kind of broken plays, and it's a bit off of, kind of these counterattacking. Listen, good teams, they can put those away, and Rising can be in that position. The tough part is again, I always go back to the margins game. This team has talent, this team has ability to defend leads, and this team has ability to eke out points. If you are not being able to break down a team, which they have not been able to do really much at all this season, but certainly not consistently from match to match, it makes it exponentially harder for yourself to find the goals. And that's where we keep talking about this every single week, where it is Groundhog Day a bit. This is where we're back again.
Yeah. I will a couple of little things to add. I know we were talking about the referee. I'll say Ben Pearman lost it on the referees at the final list.
Yeah.
Man was very animated and then went off pacing off afterwards. And even as we left the field after press conferences, was still on
Wait, is he still there? Okay,
no,
he's gone.
He was on the field on his phone, calling someone. I don't know what the hell he was speaking about, but something. And the other thing, which I'm surprised we haven't had any real questions in here. Someone mentioned earlier about Emi Quasha being injured. He's not injured, so he's just not in the squad. Someone was injured, John Stenberg. He missed the game today. The talk from Danny after the game was that it was quite precautionary, something late in the week. As a precaution, they left him out. He couldn't commit to a real, how quick would he be back? Because he said they're still in the process of working through doctors and working through the physio and seeing what the outcome of that is. I will add my own personal opinion on this one is I'm a little bit nervous about it because it is a short week. There is a Wednesday flight to Memphis that these boys are on. They are leaving on Wednesday. And so you need to make a decision early in the week whether he's going to be fit and ready to go on Friday. It may well be that you are unable to make that decision that quickly and you have to leave him out another week. Obviously, John, being the captain, that is a concern. To see him miss time. You don't want that to happen. You already did miss time earlier this season, and you hope that he comes back relatively quickly. But that is the latest update on John Stenberg from today's press conference.
Yep. Backline held up well. Again, the big thing that you'll be missing if he, tonight we missed it, and he, if he's missing time, you'll miss it there, is just the forward passing. He's the best forward passer out of the back. I mean, I guess Mochar can give him a run for his money in a way, but Pat, my boy, Alejandro Fuenmayor, very talented defenders and can more than do a job. They just cannot replicate what he brings. And that's also not only from the captaincy and the leadership standpoint. I am not a doctor. I may have said that before on this program. I think a beer might help whatever's ailing John Stenberg. And what better beer than with our friends at Four Peaks. Four Peaks. They got the beers. They got all kinds of great beers.
We're going to be
there.
At 4 Peaks tomorrow.
You're darn right.
We are going to be at 4 Peaks tomorrow because Max Simpson wants nothing more than to drink away watching Greg Berhalter football.
Oh gosh, wait, hold on.
You are watching Greg Berhalter football.
Hold on.
I see the dread on Lackey's face right now.
Here's what I'm kind of actually.
You need a beer.
Here's where I'm a bit conflicted because I was going to Four Peaks to drink away a bit of this match, and now I have to also then pre-drink for what I'm going to watch. But guess what? You can drink with us because we're hosting the U.S. men's national team Four Peaks watch party tomorrow. The match kicks off at 3.
Beer specials, don't we?
You're darn right. The match kicks off at 3. Watch party's at 2:30. We got $3 kilts and wows. $3 kilts and wows.
I'm gonna make a deal.
If you're there with us,
I'm gonna make a deal. Right? I'm gonna make a deal here. Max normally buys beers and will be buying beers. By the way, if you are wearing PHX Rising t-shirt, or
you got 2
PHX
choices,
Rising
and a scarf. You got 3 things.
Okay. He will buy you a beer tomorrow. But I will add a little bit of an addition to that one. The first 3 people to come up to me tomorrow and say, Paige is gone, will get one of those drink specials off of me. So one of the two beers, the Kilt Lifter or the WoW.
What a nice guy.
I will do it. If you come up and say Page is gone or some variation on that, because Rob Page is gone.
Boom. Love
Happy
it.
days.
Again, wear your PHNX Rising shirt, either this one, the Rise of the Top Champions t-shirt, and or your scarf. Boom. Get beers. For me, do the thing. Get a thing from Owen. And also, I got one of these up for grabs too. It's going to be
You can't
core.
see it, it's zoomed out.
It's going to be core quality. I don't care. It says it is.
I can. If
would you like to read it
here? It's better. Almost.
Would you like to read it for the people?
One free beer to be purchased by Max Simpson.
And when's the expiration date?
8/01/24.
August 1st. We have some time, but maybe I'm feeling lucky. Maybe I'll give that away to one patron tomorrow.
Maybe one free beer. Thanks, Max.
Hey, no. You
gave it to me.
I'm already giving you a beer anyway, buddy.
Okay, fine.
All right, give that beer. Yes, but check out our friends at Four Peaks tomorrow again. Free RSVP in the show notes. Plenty of space. Please join us tomorrow. It's gonna be so much fun. Again, check them out, A3 Pub. And of course, follow them on the socials, Four Peaks Pub and at Four Peaks Brew to keep up with the latest and greatest going on at Arizona's hometown brewery. You must be 21 years or older to enjoy responsibly. See you guys tomorrow.
Shout out, by the way, can I just shout out Alex in the chat, who is just showing the usual very sane part of the US soccer fan base.
Right,
we're not even going to put that comment up because that's pretty grim. But we're going to acknowledge it because that is we love it. That's
sir,
like
your
that's
vocabulary
like one step
is
away
great.
from the people who like Photoshop him on sit and people who are no longer on this earth.
Wait. Maybe we can manifest it. I'm surprised Greg Berhalter isn't in this chat yet.
No, the weird fake Greg Berhalter's not coming. Right, finish your ads, mate. Finish your ads.
Yeah. Also, shout out our friends at Valley Taproom. They also have Four Peaks beers. Great place
Plenty of those as well.
Of course.
Whatever you want, you will find it at Valley
yes,
Taproom.
we've heard, we do a lot of stuff, right? Four Peaks is on the East Valley, a little bit more central, right? We're going to be doing some stuff at Valley Taproom. They have their Gilbert and their Queen Creek locations. So you guys on the East Side, little Euros action. So stay tuned for that.
Copa action in general.
They got all kinds of great stuff.
We're gonna have some fun there. When it comes around, we're gonna have some fun.
You're darn right.
Just hang tight. We will have an announcement soon enough.
Hang tight. Check out our friends at Valley Taproom.
A lot of beers
at valleytaproom.com and at Valley Taproom on socials.
Good times. Always good times.
Do you want to read USL scores to get out of here?
Do we want to do it? Do we want to look at the other ones?
You do like doing it. People do like the voice.
Oh no!
And the commentary.
Oh, no. I haven't even got the scores up right now.
Bro, I got you.
I actually had my unnamed travel insurance from my disrupted flight.
Oh boy!
I was busy looking up at these today.
Here we go.
Why does it start up there?
Mm-hmm.
Monterey Bay 2, Oakland Roots 1.
Bless you, Salaki, and red cards.
Indy 11 0, Orange County 1.
Yeah.
Miami FC 2, Loudoun United 2.
Futility.
North Carolina 0, Pittsburgh Riverhounds 0.
Picturesque.
Lou City 2, Rhode Island 5.
Battery. Goodness.
Bizarre. FC Tulsa 0, Sacramento Republic 0.
Mm-hmm.
New Mexico United 1, Colorado Springs Switchbacks 0.
Leave Albuquerque as soon as you can.
Las Vegas Lights 1, Memphis 901 1.
Yeah, same for Vegas, sure.
You normally have a better time.
No, Vegas is fun. Oh yeah, Shane is texting us. Okay.
What is Shane saying?
Shane is texting us. He wants us to do man of the match, and we very clearly said we had no one for man of the match.
You've done someone for this, haven't you?
No, I haven't. Shane's done something. Shane,
what have you done?
What have you done for man of the match?
Top seal that he is named Calvin.
I love Shane. That is a man of the match. Look at it. It's so cute. I've named it Calvin. Baby harp seal. That is adorable. I didn't even know what a baby harp seal is until now. Well, thank you, Shane. That was something. Goodness.
Shout out Calvin.
Shout out Calvin indeed. Goodness gracious. There have been 65 of you rocking with us here on a post-game show. Oh, and you got anything else for the people? Or Calvin?
No, not Calvin. Shout out Hendrick.
Shout out Hendrick.
Good to see him today. Anyone else?
Anything else? People
I thought the South End was good today. I thought they brought it.
The dollar beer nights. It got the people going. It was a lot of support overall with everything going on tonight. It was cool.
A Loudest they've been all year, BJ, is very, very correct.
Yes.
I was up here on top of the press box at one point in the second half.
Man of the match,
very
Ben
clearly.
Beagles.
Good noise tonight. Good atmosphere they brought.
People continue to give Stat Like Reese's kudos. Well done, sir.
Yeah, shout out to Stat Lucky. Stat Lucky.
He just looks at me.
Guys.
Gosh, he's so weird.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Nah, we done.
All righty. Well, appreciate everyone joining us here on the PHNX Rising post-game show. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter at PHNX__Rising because double the underscore.
Double the beers that Max is buying tomorrow.
Yeah, I should have seen that coming. You can follow me on Twitter at Max David Simpson. You can follow Owen on Twitter at OJEvans18. You can follow Sally Reese on Twitter at Reese11_. You can follow producer Shane on Twitter at Shane Deef.
Well done.
SHANEDIEFF. You can follow Harvard Baby CEO Calvin nowhere because Shane just put that as man as the match. I don't know they're at. So no free plug for them. And you follow Jacob Franklin somewhere. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Max, if you're going to keep doing that stuff, we're going to have to point out the fact that you could follow Max on the way back from Four Peaks tomorrow.
Whoa, that's called stalking.
Creepy.
That's called stalking. That's different.
But you've encouraged that.
You can follow Jacob.
You encourage that.
I think Jacob's going to be there tomorrow, so you can follow him in
he's going to be there. Good.
I'm going to put that out there. I'm going to put that out there.
Tell him that he needs to get more beers off of Max because Max, all this stuff you do to him.
Calvin's too young for socials. Thank you for
clarifying. Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
But no, you've got to be nicer to Jacob on these.
What are
I think
you are telling me to be nicer to a person?
Jacob.
Are you?
Justice for Jacob.
Make a hashtag of it.
Justice for Jacob.
You won't.
I will. And I'll do it from the beat account, and you know I will. He says this because he knows he's going to be like, I'm going to have to log in like an hour and delete
it. 100%. Yeah. All right. Well,
hashtag justice for Jacob. Yeah. Put him in the chat, everyone. Justice for Jacob.
This is so weird. Okay. Well, appreciate everyone joining us. We will see you guys tomorrow at 4 Peaks again. U.S. men's national team kicking off their Copa America campaign. 3 o'clock kickoff. Join us at least by 2:30. Come earlier if you'd like. We're getting the party started officially then. $3 beer special. It's going to be a fantastic time. And it is a beautiful game, but it's way more beautiful when
someone actually scores.
You can drink your sorrows away with 4 Peaks beer. Good night.
When you're ready to say cheers, don't forget Max is buying beers.
We all silly like the mayor.